What have I done, I hear you ask? Well, we've got this established citrus tree here in the garden and I'm not 100% sure what it is. What you can do to try and figure out is grab yourself a leaf and basically crush it up and smell the citrus the essence that will come out of that leaf, and that should give you an idea. And I reckon this may be a tangerine and it should be covered in fruit right now, but it's not because the stink bugs absolutely overtook the tree. And when it was maybe 3.5 meters tall, I simply could not get at them all. And so what I was thinking about last year, and I should have just gone with my instincts, was trimming it right down. And so I've taken the top off it. I have broken the rule about essentially taking more than 1/3 of the tree. I reckon I've probably taken about 50%, maybe more, but I've kept all the lower limbs, and it is autumn. It's early autumn, so again, it's not even the right time of year to do it, but the tree was once again getting covered in stink bugs, and I needed a way of tackling them. I needed a way of getting rid of them so that the other citrus trees, which have a little bit of fruit on them, aren't going to be having those stink bugs transferring over, and they're a sapsucker, and they damage the fruit set in the tree, and they damage the fruit itself, and they're really, really destructive. So the simple job I did is I brought my clippers, I chopped off all those taller branches, I kept all the lower branches, which I wouldn't mind being a little bit more compact, but again, if it was the right time of year, you could probably chop that citrus right back and allow it to reshoot with the timing right. So you do it just before it's about to reshoot, you can really, really aggressively trim it back, and it will probably be okay. But it's not the right time of year, so we didn't do that. So I've kept all those lower branches, which should mean that if we do have any stink bugs on the lower branches, I can very easily treat them. That's really good. Obviously, I ended up with these branches here. After I bought my clippers and I chopped off all the big branches, I came back with my saw, and basically I very, very carefully sawed through to make sure that I wasn't getting any big tears in the bark. So I was being quite careful there. And I just took those branches right back, and I got rid of some crossing branches because you don't want kind of those crossed internal branches that are rubbing against each other and stuff like that. I did open it up a little bit, and obviously a huge amount of that tree's come off. And basically one of the other reasons I did that was because we've got our mango tree over here, and it was shading the mango tree a little bit. Now, it's not the end of the world. The mango tree is doing just fine. It's not doing quite as well as our other mango tree over there, but I did think it could probably do with a little bit more sun in having this citrus down lower. So at the end of the day, the strategy was simply get this tree under control. We lost all the fruit on it, so that needed to be addressed. The stink bugs were a problem. When it's too tall, I couldn't address them either. The mango was losing a bit of light to a tree that wasn't productive and wasn't really doing anything at all, and I could solve all of those issues at once. Now, one of the extended issues that I'm going to cover more in another video is talking about a tree guild, or I think a fruit tree guild, they might call it, and it is a building system that you use in the garden where you basically try and plant out an ecosystem. So instead of just planting a single tree, which I am guilty of, I've kind of done that in my fruit forest, you build them from kind of a building block, and you have a central tree, you have a couple of other trees around it that are a bit smaller, you have some underbrush, you have all different varieties of trees. I'm not going to go into too much detail right now, but what I realized when I saw a really good rundown of that system from a YouTuber whose name I will put up on the screen was I've got the mango trees, they're established. So what I should probably do is build a guild around them, around this one and this one over there, and take advantage of the established trees, which will hopefully work. Obviously, being a more established tree does mean that they're already quite big, they're providing quite a bit of shade, and it does mean they're in a more entrenched position so they can outcompete stuff around them. But because our soil's so poor, if I start working on the soil and getting those plants in around them, and if I include the existing stuff like this citrus, I should be able to build it out in a way that's just going to be a lot easier, a lot simpler. It's going to feel like I'm progressing a lot better, which is important for my mental side of things more than anything else. And yeah, I reckon it's going to be a good building block for building up my fruit forest without it being so overwhelming, and also so that I can focus on smaller areas and get them really productive. That's the plan anyway. Might not work, but we're gonna see how we go. And for now, we've made a little bit of progress in getting this citrus chopped back down to a manageable size, and hopefully that will help address those stink bugs, because our little lemon over there was actually getting attacked by the ones transferring from this tree over. And then over there, we've got like a lemon, we've got a blood orange, we've got a kaffir lime, we've got another type of lime, and we've got a row of citrus over there, and I really didn't want those stink bugs spreading. So there you go. And I do wonder, maybe this specific variety is one that really attracts the stink bugs, because they love this tree. It was a real problem.